Hi, I'm Matt Woodruff, a part-time PhD student in my second year at the Department of Computer Science, University of Surrey. My area of research is in machine learning and artificial intelligence in primary and secondary phase education. I'm proposing an interactive event for AIED 2019. With machine learning and AI, there's a disconnect between the theoretically possible and the practically adoptable, and that gap is widening. I've designed this interactive event to address this gap by demonstrating an approach that places the teacher at the centre of a data visualization experience. I often talk about schools being data rich but information poor. Considerable time is spent by teachers collecting data, often for school performance reasons, without seeing the benefit on their own individual practice. Teachers are not all statisticians. They need to know how the students are making progress towards reaching their potential, how to help those who are struggling, and how to push on those who are not. My interactive event is merely an illustration of how we can use low-cost consumer technology to overcome some of these barriers. We already automate data collection for the provision of descriptive analytics, and here we introduce virtual reality as a novel way for teachers to interact with their student data. They can explore the current state and ML predicted outcomes. Intervention strategies can be suggested, and the teacher can explore the impact of applying interventions to the different students or groups. The predictive algorithm then runs again on the new data, and the teacher can literally see the potential impact of different approaches. Let's take a look at it in action.
So here I am as a teacher in the VR app. I'm going to load my class worth of data, and you can see straight away that I've got a visual representation of all the students in my class, sorted by gender. The green is girls in front of me, and the blue is boys. I can actually use my selector here to actually look at the metadata for the class. So if I want to sort it by educational needs, I can. So blue are the ones that have some form of special educational needs, green are the ones that don't in this particular case. And I can cycle through these things to see different characteristics and explore all of the data in some detail around my class. Selecting any individual, so here I'm looking at level of deprivation in the UK denoted by pupil premium, and I can look at Linda Smith here in front of me, and over on the left hand side, if I look to the left, I can see a card that's got reading scale scores from latest tests and maths. I can see the output of the machine learning model in terms of how we're predicting her reading and her maths to go, as well as the student characteristics that apply to that student there. Let me put Linda back and actually go and sort this group by their reading scale scores. Now you can see red, amber, green and blue, so everyone in green is doing well. Those in amber are nearly at where they're expected to be. So if I look at George here, for example, I can see that his reading scale score is 98. It's just below standard, but we're predicting for him to do slightly worse than that. Over on the right, I can see selected interventions. So the prescriptive analytics is kicking in and suggesting interventions that I might want to apply to these particular students. I can simply click on those and put George back in his place over there. For when I have a look at maths, I'm going to sort this by math scale score. And I'm going to look at pick on Alice, because Alice is nearly where she needs to be in terms of maths. Math scale score of 99, predicted 95. Again, if I apply some interventions to Alice, you can see that actually a math scale score has jumped to 104. We're now predicting, as the machine learning runs on the fly with the revised features, that actually her math stats will be 101. If I put Alice back in the class, you'll notice Alice hasn't gone back to where she was. She's now sitting in green over there in the third row, showing us that the impact of the interventions that are taken.